Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. My name is Mr. DB333, and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4000 Reich as, right now, Arcane Moscovian. Last video, we started out with our organizing our initial situation. It's a rough one. That's an interesting one, at least. So, trying to learn that, figure all that out. News has gotten loose of an attempted assassination on ROA leader Sergei Bunyachenko. Bunyachenko was reported to be in good condition. The perpetrator has been detained. Can launch an investigation to who was responsible, or we can announce that the perpetrator quickly to soothe public sentiment. That is, the partisans. What should we do? It's a follow the partisans. Let's see if we can find a common ground. Perhaps we can mend things between ourselves and the collaborators and come to a sort of minor agreement. After all, we're all anti-communist at the end of the day, aren't we? That's a good idea. Always try to find common ground with people who you disagree with. It's crucial. We need to do a lot more of that. Now, I don't know if it's, this is going to be the best context or case for that, but, you know, it's, yeah. Korean protests have been crushed. So I'm going to ask my friends in Twitch chat, what's new with you? I'm actually writing an essay on that subject as we speak. Nice! Nice. See, this guy gets it. Everyone's in the UK. How is college going for you, by the way? Pacification tasks are proving worthless so far. Not even. The greatest effort seemed to be enough. The SS, Army, and collaborator units are deployed in fighting, but the partisans always seem to be the best of them in combat. Different parts of the KONR have different answers to this. Ivanov of the RNA proposes to give the KONR in general a greater role in pacification tasks, granting them more concessions and autonomy in exchange for greater help in anti-partisan missions. On the other hand, Kaminsky, commander of the RONA, proposes to give his army a greater role in pacification, excluding the other parts of the KONR, having his army as being the sole leader of collaborationists and anti-terrorist forces. All the while, men like Zach Zilevsky are pleading to increase pacification efforts no matter what. Ivanov, I think, is the guy who we want. So, it's ROA, at least. So, Ivanov made several good points. Get some weekly war support going. Screw for death penalty, so my English teachers asked me if I writing an essay about the opposite perspective. That's an interesting one. So far, college is going great. Enjoying my classes, meeting some good folks. Got to check out the gym when it opens on Wednesday. Ooh, true. Let's get functioning administration figured out. It's important for us to have a functioning administration. Let's try to focus on this in the future. Yeah, I still need to check out my gym on campus. This last week, I kind of slacked on the gym. You know, because I didn't check out the gym there. Since I used to, my first week, I went back and forth from college to home, which kind of worked out for me going to the gym. The only problem was it's 120 miles a day, at least, of driving. So, not so nice. So I ended up not doing that this week. Although my dumbass still signed up for a play. And as a result, build a civilian factory. We're going to conquer, I guess, we're eventually going to conquer this stuff anyway, so might as well work on it a little bit. My dumbass signed up for a play, my old theater, which is further from my college, so it ends up mounting 160 miles a day, although I only have to do that 3 days a week at least. So it kind of balances out, but still not the best. It's pretty small, 5 buildings total, so the gym will not be super busy. I'd imagine not. Yeah. If you ever need advice or tips on what to look for, or what to start off with, I'm around, so hit me up. Unfunctioning administration. The government of the Arch Moscovian is in efficient state of lease. Our colony suffers from constant terrorist attacks in the cities and towns. These constant employees make life in cities and for German settlements in general very difficult. There's a high risk of getting killed. The countryside of partisans rule with almost no opposition, either USS Vermacht, no decay on our armies can stem the tide. Otherwise, providing services like electricity and running water is extremely difficult. We haven't fully rebuilt the little infrastructure the Soviets didn't blow up while retreating entire cities just to get a few hours of electricity. What to do, what to do. Dwindling results. The colony program is in a state of decay. Resettlements are being protested. Settlements are erased by natives, and bandits have a reign of terror upon much of the western forest. We must try to remedy the sorry state of affairs. Campus is a 28-mile commute. Nothing horrible. Not horrible 3 days a week. That's not too bad. Yeah. Hell, I'd kill for that commute. It's about half my old one. My old is in my first week commute. My commute from my community college to my house was about 21 way, which wasn't bad at all. And then I'd take another 20 to get in my theater, and then 40 back. So 80 miles a day, not the best. I should convert that to for all the people listening at home real quick. We received urgent reports of a partisan attack near the city of Smolensk, resulting in the deaths of several German settlers. Zach Zavelsky insists that retaliation is necessary, but more moderate voices claim that such things would only further embolden them among the populace. What should we do? Don't give them any attention. It's about 120 kilometers, 80 miles. My old one was almost 200, about 193. And my current commute is 257 kilometers every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So, fuck me. And that's why I'm turning to nude modeling. 20 bucks just to stand or sit naked and have people draw you. That's not bad at all. Mystery of Nightmare. Our current bureaucracy is nightmarish and Byzantine. If we hope to succeed in our goals of colonization, let's trim the fat to a great extent. That's a heavy commute. It's rough. I don't mind driving, so that's not the worst. The problem is, gas ranges from 450 to 505, although it's getting less than that, more 495, but still, about 50 bucks to fill up. Not the best. It has been decreasing, which I'm happy about. I'd be bashing my head in right now if gas was still about 530, 550. But, it's still not optimal. And, I mean, things can change. You know, gas prices can go up or down. Been going down, thankfully, but I have to see what happens. It has come to our attention that Kaminsky has been requesting an increased role in our pacification efforts, claiming that his knowledge would enable us to more adequately pacify the population. Others, however, have suggested that this may merely be a vehicle by which to increase the popularity among the people. How shall we reply to Kaminsky's request? Nah. Now we have a flex fuel vehicle, it's around $2.85 a gallon. Save so much money for a college student like me. There you go. That's good. Where is the so-called magical object known as a dog boat? It is... You know, you just, you'll have to go back a little bit more to pick up on that ancient dog boat lore. It's a little bit debatable in the 333. True. Foolish B9, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. How are you, my friend? Welcome. Let's do this. We're not alone in our struggle to seek the barren lands, settle the barren lands of Eastern Europe. We must reach out to our fellow colonists to maintain order. I always believe a dog boat was more of a metaphor. Congo Rebellion Crush. Ethiopian Uprisings. Interesting. Oh, I want to check and see, Kingdom of Greece. What do you guys got, focus-wise? You have nothing. Press. Good, E2. Está bien. Gracias. I get to use my 4 years of high school Spanish now. Very happy to see. I'm very happy right now. I probably don't know much more than that though, so you have to bear with me. Einstein killed in Israel. Oh no. This criticizes a Chinese invasion. Conflict in Vietnam. Some things never change. A coup in Perm. It's interesting. Is that going to be Suslov? I don't really know how this ends up going. Power of the SS. The SS is a powerful combat force both in Germany proper and the colonies. They have helped us and the other Reich Commissars countless times in the fight against terrorist partisan groups inside of our lands. The SS troops should be what we need at this moment, with partisans getting stronger by the day and seizing more territory than ever before. We'll request more SS troops from Germania, stating the necessity of pacifying native populaces and combating terrorist organizations. We don't ask for Slavs' respect, only their fear. Following orders from Germania. Orders from the Metropole have arrived, and it's our intention to see them through completely settlement, anti-banditry measures. Everything must be followed to a T. Well, there we go. Free France joins the Accord. That's fun. Yep, Suslov. Okay. I actually don't know what's the best one for us to potentially deal with, or the worst one. So we'll just have to, we'll take all this, we'll play with this as we need to. I'm hoping we need the German Civil War. If People's Germany ends up winning, that's great for us, because that's just, I think that's just a free reign to do whatever the heck we want. What do we want to do? Let's get military construction. So, Foolish, I'm guessing you're from, a Spanish-speaking country? Judging by the time, I'm gonna guess somewhere in Latin America? Although, probably like 2, 3 a.m. in Spain right now. So, maybe more 3 or 4, but it's not impossible. Let's do a letter to Himmler. Heinrich Himmler, head of the SS, is a man whose services we are immensely reliant upon. Must send a letter to him asking for his support in settlements and resettlement initiatives. And there we are. We're getting a little bit more war support. Thanks to the Ivanov plan. Isn't too bad. Harry Truman re-elected. I didn't realize that could happen. That's interesting. They pulled it off. See, old Maquette is playing Stalker. Nice to see. Two, Reichswehr SS Heinrich Luitpold Himmler. His middle name is Luitpold? Huh, okay. The administration of the Reich Commissar in Moscovian, we are requesting a major number of SS units from the Reich. Counter-terrorist operations are to be carried out against partisan groups all throughout the colony. Units will be dispatched immediately upon arrival and will stay in the RK for an estimated 4 months, carrying out anti-partisan operations. Afterwards, they are to be sent back to the Reich. Heil Hitler. Secret Cache. Reich Commissar Moscovian. It's not necessary. Oh, that's Rona influence, though. And we'll send it. I don't see any way we can, measure their influence. Crazy thing to come back to. Oh. Well, welcome back, Eric. HH. Purify the ranks. There are Jews, Bolsheviks, Slavs, and traitors in our ranks. Some we know very well and not adequately dealt with yet. Let us dispose of this garbage immediately. Unmute. Oh. It's always a good conversation starter. You start off without a conversation, you quickly know where people lie. They either get mad at you, or they're really comfortable with it. So, you know, not a bad idea. I am not recommending you do that. Great conversation starter. People in my college love it. Oh yeah. I gotta assume those folks over in Pennsylvania are gonna love talking about Hitler. Yeah, let's summon the ministers. It's time for us to officially meet with ministers in charge of colonial affairs, both in Muscovian and in the metropole. It's necessary for us to determine the future course of affairs and to prevent the failure of our colonial mission. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to start doing when I go to college. I'm going to be a nude model, and I'm going to start art conversation with Heil Hitler. College is going to be a wild time for me. We're going to also be surprised considering Pennsylvania's home with Gettysburg. It's a strangely diverse political state. I mean, it's always very competitive. Yeah, I want to be careful because you don't want to compare. Most of the comparisons to Hitler don't really work anyway, or fascism in America. But what was I even gonna say? I mean, there are lots of people who believe all sorts of things in this country. Probably. The ministers and high government officials of the colonial administration have arranged an emergency meeting to supervise the actual state of colonization efforts in the Reich Commissariat. A pile of reports were shared among the ministers, all of them rather worrying. In terms of settling less than 10,000 Germans were currently in the colony, an extremely disappointing number. Otherwise, infrastructure was quite poor in the colony, and entire neighborhoods and big cities were abandoned after the war because of a sheer destruction. Electricity, running water, luxuries in most regions, only working sparsely and for a few hours every day. You conclude eventually, but the question was left: what is to be done for natives? You must take a hard line. Now let's check out these guys' focus tree, if they have one. They do have a focus tree. That is interesting. Harry Truman inaugurated. The exile of the Dutch government. Feels bad for the Dutch. It's a good thing Jaden isn't here. Revolution in Baghdad. End of the Algerian War. Council of Sahara is being beaten back by the Free French currently. Interestingly enough. Indonesian victory. Dissolution of the Sahara. To actually save them from being annexed. So you have Mauritania. Just kind of chilling there now. Yeah. Uh-oh. Well, that's not good for us, officially. is falling apart around us. Even the metropole is tearing at the seams. To make matters worse, it seems that the native protestations against us began to rise once more in a proverbial cyclone of militant aggression. There's only one way to deal with this. But we'll have to figure out what that way is next video. So I'll be two people. Thanks for watching. Like, dislike, check the comment section. Sub if you want to see more of these videos. Check out the links in the description box below. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.